Hello my friends and welcome back. If you happen to be new, my name is Robin and today I'm going to be sharing with you 6 quick and easy homemaking projects that I've made with fabric that are both beautiful and helpful. The fabric I'm using today is this set of curtain panels that I picked up at IKEA last summer. I'm challenging myself to see how many projects I can complete using just this fabric. I made 6 items with only a few scraps left, so let me show you what I made. Today's first project is a set of pillow covers. I have shared how I make my pillow covers many times here on my channel. I have a step-by-step tutorial, which I will link down below if you're interested. I feel like I can make these in my sleep at this point. I've made so many of them, but they are just so perfect for me. They're so easy to make. They have a nice, simple, decorative edge. They look classic, and they just highlight the beautiful fabrics I'm using so nicely. So go ahead and click the link, try out these pillow covers. I think you'll be happy with them. And now I have 2 new pillow covers to add to my growing collection. The next project is a table runner. I cut one piece of fabric 17 inches wide by 60 inches long, and I am simply adding a 1-inch hem on each side. After sewing the hems in place, I was ready to use my new table runner. I like to lay my table runners widthwise across my table, but if you're going to make one to run lengthwise, make sure you add extra fabric. To finish off the look, let's go ahead and put a quick little centerpiece in the middle of the table. I'm going to start with this Lazy Susan, then I'm going to layer this beautiful wreath from Hobby Lobby on top. Then I'll go ahead and plop in a beautiful candle holder, add a candle, and that is it. Now I've got myself a fabulous looking centerpiece to go with my new table runner. Next up, I made some napkins. Unfortunately, I lost the footage on this particular project, but it's super simple. Cut yourself a piece of fabric 19 inches square, hem all 4 sides, and you've got yourself a napkin. I had enough fabric to make 4, and I think they turned out perfectly. Next up, some pot holders. I started by cutting 2 pieces of fabric 9 inches square. I also cut 2 pieces of quilt batting 9 inches square as well. Then I started layering all the pieces together, starting with the 2 pieces of quilt batting, followed by the 2 pieces of fabric. When adding the fabric, make sure the right side of the fabric is facing down. I then went ahead and pinned all the layers together, making sure to leave a small 2-inch gap on one end so that I could turn the project right side out. I then went ahead and sewed all the layers together, leaving that gap at the top so that I could turn it right side out, which is a little tricky sometimes. Once you have that done, you're going to want to close up that gap by tucking in the layers nice and neatly and then sewing a seam right along that edge. I actually go around the whole outside by 1/4 of an inch just to give it a little bit of a decorative edge. And that is it. Project complete, and they are super handy to have around in the kitchen. The next project is some fabric photo mats. After picking out a few photos and picture frames that I wanted to use, I used the backing of the picture frame as a template to cut the fabric to the correct size to fit inside my picture frames. A quilting ruler and a rotary cutter makes this step super quick and easy. Next, I used some white cardstock to make an accent mat for my photo. I used a couple pieces of rolled Scotch tape to temporarily attach my photo to the mat since this is just a temporary project. Then I used a couple more pieces of the tape to attach the photo mat to the actual fabric just to kind of hold it in place until I could get it inside of the frame. Then the whole thing went into the frame, and then I replaced the backing, and that is basically the project. It's almost kind of silly to consider it a project because it's seriously less than 5 minutes. But the whole goal, of course, was to use up some fabric, and I think this is a fabulous way to do it. I think it looks awesome. I went ahead and made 2 photo frames, and I absolutely love how they turned out. I think they are so cool. It's a fun way to display a couple of my favorite photos, and I think it'll be perfect throughout the summer months. Today's final project is a lightweight summer blanket. To get started, I laid my curtain panel fabric out on the counter right side down. Then I topped it with a piece of flannel that was 2.5 yards long. When placing the flannel, I made sure to leave a generous 2-inch section of the first fabric exposed along each edge of the flannel. This would later be used to finish off the raw edges of the blanket. Once I had both pieces of fabric laid out nice and neat where I wanted them, I went ahead and pinned the 2 layers together. I'm using special safety pins made for quilters. They're bent slightly, which magically makes pinning multiple layers together so much easier. I will link them down below in case you're interested. This is what the blanket looked like once I had it all pinned together. Then I went ahead and trimmed off any excess fabric, making sure to leave that 2-inch hem allowance all the way around the blanket. Then I was off to the sewing machine to attach all the layers together. I am using a walking foot today instead of a traditional pressure foot. It's not necessary, of course, but it is designed to move thick, bulky material through the machine altogether, so I'd like to use it for projects like this. I used the stripes on the fabric to sew 3 separate vertical lines down the length of the blanket to hold it together. If needed, you could always draw in a sewing guide if that made you more comfortable. Here you can see a better example of what I did. I sewed in the 3 lines along the length of the blanket. They're each about 10.5 inches apart. I just sort of centered it in the middle of the blanket and went from there. The final step is to finish off the edges, and I'm going to give it a double rolled hem. At least that's what I call it. I simply fold the fabric over about 1 inch, not measuring anything, just eyeballing everything, and then I press that in place. I then fold the fabric over another inch and press again, and then I pinned it in place. Then back to the sewing machine, just sew the hem all the way around the blanket, and this is what it looks like when I am done. And that, my friends, is how I make a very simple and easy lightweight blanket for summer. I've made a ton of these. We all love them here in my home. You could always use fleece instead of flannel, but for summer I like the flannel because it makes a nice lightweight blanket that I can throw on the sofa for the summer months, or as I'm going to be using this particular blanket as an accent blanket for the end of my bed. Regardless of how you use it, they are nice blankets, and I hope you'll give it a try. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's projects. I had so much fun working on them, and it's always a blast to be able to share it with you guys. So I'd love to know what you think down in the comments. I hope that today's video has inspired you to get creative and to make something for your home that is both beautiful and makes you smile. I find homemaking and being creative to be such a blessing to both my soul and my mindset, so I'm hoping that you will be able to indulge for just a little while sometime soon and reap the benefits as well. Have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye now.